You've been so outspoken about your support and your use of cannabis. Isn't it interesting that all these years later, WWE has kind of changed their opinion about that?
It's interesting in a good way. I can't say I'm surprised. I always knew the direction that marijuana prohibition would go. I was just ahead of the curve, like I am with a lot of things. I'm ahead of my time in a lot of ways. And so people back when I started advocating and telling people, dude, put that cigarette down. That's killing you. Marijuana's not. Like everyone thought I was crazy back then. Everyone smoking was so popular, cigarettes, which kills 1 out of 2 users statistically in long term. And I was learning that they say cannabis is a Schedule 1 worst drug, but no one has overdosed from it because it's not even possible. And so, you know, I was like, I gotta tell people about this and stuff. And back then they didn't want to hear it, but because people like to be told what to do, they really do. And then I feel like people like to be told what to do, and then they determine their own self-value, their own self judging by how good they're following directions. That makes them a better person if they stopped all the way at a 4-way stop sign when there was no other cars around, in a lot of people's minds.
Yeah.
Because they're doing what they're supposed to. Nowadays, everyone before that was like, oh, marijuana is horrible. Now, because the government's come around, everyone's like, well, I eat a couple of gummies before I go to bed at night. It does help me sleep. What about all you guys saying it's going to lead to harder drugs? Like, when are all these people that are having a couple of gummies going to come out? I went straight to heroin, and then that wasn't enough, because that's what they believed before the government finally came around and said, oh, we weren't right about that. You know, I didn't need that.
Your title run would have looked a lot different if WWE had adapted the mentality they have now.
Who knows where it would have went? You know, I don't know what. I was always the last one to know what people had planned, you know, and I don't know how long the championship would have been around, but for sure I would have been able to do a hell of a lot more to keep ECW going.
You wouldn't have dropped the title as quickly as you did.
Okay, 1,000%. Now that was all because of the marijuana bust, which is not even a thing right now. In that same Hanging Rock, Ohio, for that same 18 grams, there's no, you're not going to get arrested. You're not going to, you're probably just going to get let go.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was just ahead of my time. Like to me, what I'm doing right now isn't necessarily a bad thing just because the authority says that it's bad. You know what I mean? Like people that think that, like, no, they say it's bad. That's bad. Well, they change that all the time. Coffee's good for you. Coffee's bad for you. Guess what? Do some research, make up your mind for yourself.
And you've always been free thinking like that. You've always been like on the forefront of just like, this is the way I live my life.
I always have. That's the way I feel like my parents brought me up. It's always been important to me to be genuine and to be honest.